guys. It's been a hot minute, but I'm back. Forgive me because we were very sick in January. Blah, blah, blah. Lots of barfing. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the video. Okay, welcome to My Spiritual Life. I am Ex-Morgan, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. To catch you up briefly, basically I grew up Mormon, and I left my church, and this channel talks all about my journey with that, as well as my thoughts and opinions on high-demand religions. And today, we're talking about how I'm not alone anymore. I am not the only apostate in my family. And oh, it feels good. So recently, my brother reached out to me and let me know, my younger brother, I should say, reached out to me and let me know that he just told my parents that he is now atheist. I was really not seeing it coming. And oh my gosh, we have had the coolest experience, like bonding over this. And guys, oh, it just feels so good to not be alone and to have someone from my actual immediate family totally relate with so many things that I've been struggling with for so long. So he called me the other day and basically was just like, what are your beliefs in God? And I was like, oh, we're going there. Let's go there. And so he, so I kind of talked a little bit and then he just unloaded and it was beautiful, guys. Like he had just had so many doubts and issues and frustrations for so long and they just all spilled out all of a sudden. And it was kind of a shock to him and a shock to my parents and stuff. But I just sat there and I just listened to him and I just kept saying, oh, yeah, I get that. No, yeah, you're not crazy for thinking that. Like, oh, I understand that. And he just went on and it was seriously the coolest moment because I just got to sit there and tell him, dude, you're not crazy. You are not wrong. Like, you are not bad for thinking this way. Like, you are not alone in thinking this way. In fact, there's a lot of people thinking and feeling the way that you think and feel. And oh my gosh, you guys, I'm just so psyched about it. And I'm so proud of my brother. And I'm not proud of him because he doesn't believe anymore or whatever. Like, I'm just proud of him for having the courage to stand up and say, I don't agree with this, or I don't think this way, or this doesn't feel right to me, because that's really, really hard to do. Most of us know that firsthand. So as he continued to just kind of tell me about all these things that was frustrating him, I seriously just got to sit there and just say, yeah. And guess what? You are still a good person, even though you're dealing with all of this. And guess what? I still love you, and you are fantastic, and you are going to figure this out. You're going to figure out what journey works for you, what beliefs work for you, and it's going to totally be okay. And it was beautiful, guys. I loved getting to sit there and just tell him, I love you no matter what. You've got this. It's going to be okay. Because that is what I wanted to hear so badly when I was having a faith crisis. And it was so hard. It's so hard because having a faith crisis is one of the most terrifying things you can go through. And then on top of that, with so much fear stigma in the Mormon church around like being ex-Mormon or doubting even, they don't know what to do with you. So you're just kind of shunned. Like, have you tried praying about it? Did you try praying more? So some really cool experiences have come out of this with my brother, and it's just been so exciting to feel like I'm not alone, and I get to give him this beautiful space of, I'm here for you no matter what you believe. That everyone deserves. That everyone deserves that. Because when it comes down to it, we can't really control what we believe. We can try to feed ourselves information and we can try to take certain actions that can lead to like evidence in our mind of something being true. But when it comes down to it, we're going to believe what we believe And that is just that. And what we believe is generally based on our experiences and our education. And I'm sure there's other things I'm not thinking of, but those are important things. And it's crazy to me how we can, I don't know, have this attitude sometimes, like in high demand religions, where it's like you are mad at the person or upset with the person when they no longer believe, as if it's somehow their fault. But that's because you're kind of taught that if someone doesn't believe anymore, it is their fault. They didn't pray enough. They didn't read their scriptures enough. They didn't go to church enough or listen to God, or they listened to Satan too much. Anyway, so it's just been so refreshing talking to my brother. And man, it just reminds me of how hard it was at first. Because it is awful when you first start stepping out into that new you. There's so many new things to navigate, and like you got to figure out morality all over again because you feel like you can't trust anything. And it's really, really hard because at the same time that you're having this whole new rewiring of beliefs, you're also often kind of ostracized or made to feel bad about your lack of faith. So listening to him has just been really cathartic and really special, just getting to sit there and say, yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, you are still a wonderful person, and you totally deserve to be happy and to be accepted for exactly who you are. I am anticipating that there will probably be a lot of drama in my family regarding this, because this is very new, because my brother told my parents and me on the same day that he didn't believe anymore. And I'm interested to see how it plays out, because I can imagine that a lot of family members are going to somehow blame me for this, which I think is very funny, because if they do blame me and my brother didn't talk about religion at all until he told me he didn't believe anymore. So we talked about video games and computers and things like that. Not that I know anything about that, but he knows a lot about that. So that's what we talked about. And so I'm interested to see how this is going to play out, because I think a lot of family members are going to blame me. And if they do, bring it on, because that's not what I'm about. Like, I'm not about trying to convince anyone of anything. I am just so pro do what feels right to you and love everyone no matter what. Because when it comes down to it, we all just want love, so why can't we all just be nice to each other? Goodness! Oh man, talking to my brother was so amazing. And like, he was talking about some things, and he's like, and I just didn't expect it to affect me in this way, and I am trying to understand how to navigate all these things. And I was just like, yeah, just so you know, like, I thought some really weird things when I first left. I was like, am I gonna start robbing stores now? Am I gonna become an alcoholic? Do I even like green Jell-O? Ah! But in all seriousness, when you're trying to reevaluate pretty much everything and you're starting from scratch, you can think and feel some weird things. I felt really depressed. I know I've talked about it for a while, and I thought I was just gonna become this crazy, evil, bad person that everyone told me I would be. So far, so good. I rarely hit people. I haven't robbed any stores. And I drink alcohol about once a month. So we'll see how this plays out. So it was earlier in the week that I talked to my brother about him not believing. And then come to find out, a couple days later, he calls me again and he says, I've watched all of your videos. And he said, oh my gosh, it was so helpful. Thank you so much. And I was like, I was like tearing up, you guys, because holy cow, like I wondered if one day any of my family would really watch it, like any of my siblings, or like, you know, in the future, any of my siblings' kids or anything like that. And I just didn't expect it to be so soon, I guess. And I didn't expect it to be so impactful for both of us. I think you know, being the older sister, I've always been like a comfort to him and the support. And so I think getting to watch these videos of my journey and me talking about my thoughts and everything was really helpful to him, because it was like coming from this source of comfort and understanding and someone he trusts. And that was really cool, you guys. Like, I couldn't believe how special I felt just knowing that my legacy, like, of my YouTube legacy, was helpful to my own brother. Like, that is crazy, crazy amazing to me. And get this, he even, I don't remember which episode I talk about it, but I gave the advice to do an exercise where you, like, write your own commandments. And he did that, and he sent them to me. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. So I gotta read it to you guys, because it's amazing. And you gotta understand, my brother, the one that left and the one that wrote this, he is very, very analytical. So you can tell in the way he writes, like, how analytical he is, and it's so great. Oh, and I am reading this with his permission, by the way. I have his permission to talk about all of this. Rule number 1, everybody, regardless of race, gender, identity, thoughts, or beliefs, should be treated fairly and equally, like I wish myself to be treated. I will not force my thoughts or beliefs on others, or push aside others, unless the thoughts or feelings being represented would be harmful to others. Family and friends should be loved where they're at, whether in prison or steeped in depression. Unconditional love is necessary in life. Shame and pushing people away increases extremism and hate. You guys, I can't even, oh my gosh. Obeying laws is more important to set an example for others. Murder, rape, battery, assault, or other acts to directly harm others are not excusable. It should be dealt with by the proper authority, and possible recovery from the event for both the victim or abuser should be allowed. And then the last one. Avoiding debt where possible leads to less stress and gives you more time to focus on other goals. Is that not super profound for such a young guy? I don't know if I'm allowed to say how old he is, so I won't. But he's younger than me, and that's all you need to know. Yeah, when he sent me that, you guys, I was seriously just tearing up, because it's just so beautiful. Like, and I don't know how anyone in my family could look at him and not see the sincerity in him and his own frustrations, his own issues, and his goodness. Like, oh my gosh, he is such a good kid. Oh my goodness. Okay, I feel like I could talk about this all day long, but moral of the story is, I'm so proud of my brother. Not because of being ex-mormon or whatever, like, but because he had the courage to stand up and say, this is how I think. This is how I feel. That's hard. That's very hard, and it's very hard when you're young, too. And I'm just seriously so proud of him, because life is too short to be anything other than you. And the minute we stop trying to be something for everyone else and actually start asking ourselves, who are we? That is when we really start living a totally different life. We may not actually change what we're doing, but maybe we just become consciously more us instead of trying to please people around us. I'm so excited for my brother. So excited to see how this plays out. Very interested to see what drama is drummed up from this. Very, very interested to see if I get blamed for it. And, yeah, I will keep y'all posted. Goodness! Thank you guys for watching this video. Post some comments down below for some love from my brother. And in the description, I'm also going to have a link to my other YouTube channel where me and my business partner Angie talk all about tips on how to go from a suppressed life of trying to please everyone else over to a more authentic life. Over there, I love being able to talk about tips and tricks to help you learn how to navigate more effectively being you. So if you're interested in that, go check out that other channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks again for your patience while I haven't posted as much recently. I have so many great ideas moving forward that I can't wait to share with you guys. It just takes a little bit of patience and time, because I have a lot of irons in the fire, if you know what I mean. Thanks, see you guys.